Hello everyone, and welcome to the Brickformula review of LEGO set 4438, Robber's Hideout. It has 317 pieces for ages 5 to 12, and it's from the City series, and this set retails for $39.99. And I would like to give a shout out to Bastion Productions and Alex Zors 1, because they are the subscribers who had requested that I review this set, so everyone check out their channels. And moving forward, here in the front we can see that everything went terribly wrong for the robbers because they all got caught up and they ran into some bad luck over there. Here on the side we have the minifigures, more on that later. And here in the back we see a lot of cool pictures and some weird ones, like this one right there doesn't make any sense. And over here that guy looks like he's in for a bumpy ride. That looks like fun. But anyway, let's just check this out. Here are the minifigures in order of appearance, and we'll start with the first forest policeman. And he looks like he had an argument with his wife this morning, which is probably going to be the first of many. And there are his details. Next we have our first robber, who looks really happy, and I can see why. He now finally has enough money to fix that gap over there. And then you'd be surprised how many different shades of white they have to fix that too. And next is the other forest policeman, who looks like he takes his job way too seriously. But his details are the same as the first guy. And finally, we got the last robber, who kind of reminds me of Zed from Police Academy, except that he's a robber this time around, and not a cop. And there we go. And let's not forget the bear, especially since this is the only other set where you can get him in, besides the Forest Police Station. And that also makes this the cheapest set where you can get him in too. Anyway, here's a closer look. It looks pretty cute and cuddly. That is until you take your iPod and destroys it. Oh wait, I take that back. I'm describing someone else. Anyway, the hind legs can be moved, and they can lightly snap into that position, and that's as far as they go. And we'll just bring that back. The head can move up and down, and if you like, you can attach them to the studs. And you'll also notice that the two front arms do not move at all. And up here we have two studs, so you can sit a minifigure there if you'd like. We'll just take this guy for example. Looks kind of funny, doesn't it? You can tell that those two don't get along. Next we'll take a look at the police trike, and here it is all around. At first I was a little skeptical about this being in the set, but then again it's actually kind of cool because now I have an alternative to throw into the heavy duty helicopter, which honestly I think is a lot cooler than the ATV that it came with. And right there we have a printed piece, and we can stick in the forest policeman over there to drive this thing. And I think you could use a helmet, but if you don't want to, that's fine. It's your head after all. Next we'll take a look at this really cool looking roadster. It's so cool it kind of makes me wonder why the robbers are robbing money in the first place. Unless of course they stole this car too. But I really love this design. It's nice and small, and it looks really good all around really. I especially love how they use this molding over here for the back. You probably might recognize it from the Cars 2 series. And who would have thought it would look so good as a butt for the car. It's got some curves and everything. Kind of makes you want to, pat it on the back. There we go. And there's the bottom. And we can fit our robber over here. And he is a little bit tall in the windshield, but it all works out. You know, even if he's not robbing anything, the cops will probably pull him over because there are no headlights or taillights on this thing. Which is a ticket right there. And now to take a look at the police off-roader, which for the most part, I really like this design. It looks like a really strong pickup truck. And here it is from the side. And there's the front. And before I move any further, this is the only vehicle that uses stickers in the set. Everything else doesn't need it. And here they are. You get this one for the hood. That's for the bumper. That's right there. And you get these two to go on the side to show that this thing is a police off-roader, as if the top part over there didn't give it away. I didn't add the stickers because I'm going to convert this into a civilian vehicle, which for the most part it actually looks like one too. And here's the back. This part can open up and you can load your tools or whatever and close that up. And down here we have two plates, which is not really necessary, but if you want to, you can definitely rip out that white one there and replace it with one of these. This way you can drag your favorite boat around town to your local marina, or if you have the dirt bike transporter, you can use this to drag around your bikes too. So there's definitely a lot of playabilities with this one. And if you look on the sides here, we have these clips. On this side we have the handcuffs, and you notice that there are no side mirrors, and on this side we have the radio. And if you rip this off, it looks like a regular pickup. Not bad, right? And now we can rip this off to load in our forest policeman. And I think this totally works for him, because he looks really mean behind the wheel over there. And there we go. Not bad, right? I like to stay out of his way. And finally, we have the robber's hideout, and for the most part, it's a pretty cool design, although there are some weird things about it, and I'll cover them as we go along. So for now, we'll take a look at the front. Over here, we have a door that can open up, and right there, we have a pretty cool looking lamp. Although I think they can use that on the inside, because as you'll see real soon, there's really not much in there. And up here on the roof, we have some walking space, and there's the robber on the lookout. And going over to this side, we have some access to the playing area for the inside. And up here, I think they could have used another mountain piece, because without it, it looks pretty incomplete. And over here we have a tree, which is really weird that it would grow there. But I guess if you get drunk enough, you'll find anything acceptable. Just about, at least. And here's a close look at the inside. We have a chair and a cup of joe, so you can sit there and wait for your money to arrive. Doesn't that sound nice? And over on this side, we have a ramp and a pretty large door, but it's not large enough because we got this big gap up here. So I think they could have fixed that somehow. And this is where you can hide your roadster, and you can hide from the cops in there. Although honestly, I'm not sure how effective that would be, because I think a wooden shack in the middle of nowhere is already pretty suspicious. But anyway, here's the roadster inside, and as you can see, it takes up most of the space. Next to that large door, we have a red mailbox, and inside we have some gold bars. Gee, I wish my mailman would give me some. Actually, not really, because then I would become a suspect, and that would not be good. And we're back to the front. And now for the neighbor to stop by to complain about the noise. And just to show you guys a comparison with the bear in the hideout, and he's pretty big. You know, I just realized that from this angle, the bear looks like he's taking a leak over there. Probably to claim his territory, but who knows. But now we'll move on to the recommendations. Overall, it's a pretty good set, and I recommend getting it. When it comes to the value, we're looking at 12.6 cents a piece, which is alright. But if you were to sell this as used parts, you're actually looking at around $35 worth. And if you sell as new, it's actually a minimum of 52 bucks. And if you include the minifigures and the bear, it comes up to a grand total of $79 that you're getting here in parts. So in the end, it's actually a pretty good deal. And when you look at the play value, it's even better because it's really similar to the Forest Police Station, because we get 3 vehicles. So that's a police chase right there. And we get the bear, which you can't go wrong because he's worth $12 just by himself. And he's a lot of fun too. And we get that hideout, and it is fun to play with. So in the end, it's a pretty good set, and I think you'll like it. And that sums up my review. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.